Welcome back to Year 9 Chemistry. This is Week 2, Session 1, Filtration, Evaporation, and Crystallization. Last session you learned how to choose a separation method. Today we zoom in on 3 of the most important ones and learn the exam vocabulary that goes with them. Residue, filtrate, saturated, and crystallize. Let's begin. Your 4 goals. First, label the products of filtration correctly. Second, compare evaporating to dryness with crystallization. Third, explain how a change in solubility produces crystals. And fourth, evaluate a separation method for purity and yield, just like an examiner would. Filtration separates an insoluble solid from a liquid. Watch what happens when we pour sandy salt water through filter paper in a funnel. The sand grains are too large to fit through the pores, so they stay on the paper. We call that solid the residue. The liquid passes through and collects below. We call it the filtrate. 2 words, 2 marks, so learn them well. Residue on the paper, filtrate in the flask. But here is what filtration cannot do. It cannot remove a dissolved substance. Watch the dissolved dye. Its particles are at the same tiny scale as the water particles, so they travel straight through the pores with the solvent. The dye has not changed into water. The paper does not trap colors. Dissolved particles are simply small enough to pass through. If a substance is dissolved, filtration will never catch it. So how do we recover a dissolved solid? One option is evaporation to complete dryness. It can work for a stable solid, but it has 3 problems. Strong heating makes the mixture spit and product is lost. You get a shapeless powder rather than crystals, and heat-sensitive substances can decompose. There is usually a better way. That better way is crystallization. 5 steps. 1. Warm the solution gently. 2. Evaporate some solvent until the solution is concentrated. 3. Allow it to cool slowly. 4. Filter to collect the crystals. 5. Dry them between filter papers. Gentle concentration and slow cooling give well-shaped, pure crystals with far less spitting and loss. Why does cooling produce crystals? Because for many solids, solubility falls as temperature falls. A saturated solution holds the maximum amount of dissolved solute possible at a stated temperature. Cool it down and it can hold less. The excess solute comes out of solution and its particles arrange into an ordered solid crystal lattice. And note, cooling does not make solids more soluble. It usually makes them less soluble. That is the whole trick. Now let's evaluate like an examiner. A student heats copper sulfate solution strongly until all the water has gone. The solid spits from the basin and some is lost. A complete evaluation has 3 parts. The limitation, strong heating causes spitting. The effect, the measured yield is too low. And the improvement, heat gently, stop before dryness, and let crystals form on cooling. Limitation, effect, improvement. Use all 3 every time. A quick safety note. This is a self-study course, so do not heat chemicals at home. Use the diagrams, teacher-approved videos, or a supervised laboratory. Copper sulfate must never be eaten or handled casually, and you should always wash your hands after laboratory work. Chemistry rewards care. Quick check. Question 1. What is the liquid that passes through the filter paper called? Pause and answer. The filtrate. Question 2. Why is a concentrated solution cooled during crystallization? Because solubility decreases as it cools, so the excess solute forms crystals. Your recap. Filtration separates an insoluble solid. Residue on the paper, filtrate below. Dissolved substances pass straight through. Crystallization beats heating to dryness. Concentrate gently, cool slowly, filter and dry. In evaluate with limitation, effect, improvement. Next session, paper chromatography and RF values. For the full course with practice questions and the final exam, visit www.brde2exam.com. See you there!